first rule of time travel was simple: never change the past. The second rule: don't get caught. Time tourism was big business. The ultra-rich paid fortunes to witness history firsthand, watching pyramids rise, sneaking into Prohibition speakeasies, even standing in the crowd for Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech. But not everyone followed the rules. That's where Agent Zora Carter and Agent Lester King came in. They weren't just historians, they weren't just enforcers, they were time defenders. And today, history had a breach. Zora adjusted her wrist comm, scanning the silent alleyway in 1921 Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was midnight, May 30th. One day before everything burned. Lester crouched beside her, his fingers flicking through the holographic readout from HQ. His face was all business, except for the toothpick hanging from his lip. "Got an unregistered traveler somewhere near Greenwood Avenue," he muttered. "Breach level 3. Someone's trying to talk to the locals." Zora sucked her teeth. "Talking is dangerous." Lester smirked. "So's time travel." They moved fast and quiet, their tactical boots barely making a sound against the cobblestone streets. The past wasn't just fragile, it was listening. They spotted him near the edge of the neighborhood, a pale, middle-aged man in a modern black suit, checking his smartwatch under the glow of a gas lamp. He looked like he'd just stepped out of Wall Street, not the Jazz Age. Zora tilted her head. "What do you think?" Lester exhaled. "A lost tourist or a criminal?" "Same thing." Zora tapped a button on her wristcom. The air shimmered. Instantly, their high-tech bodysuits shifted into authentic 1920s clothing. Zora now wore a deep purple flapper dress, feathers tucked into her curls. Lester's pinstripe suit looked sharp enough to cut glass. They stepped onto the street, blending into history. "Let's bag this fool before he buys a drink and invents hip-hop 60 years too early," Lester muttered. They approached him casually. Zora smiled. "You lost, sugar?" The man flinched, too jumpy. "Definitely not from here." No, I'm fine," he stammered, tugging at his collar. Just waiting for someone." Lester sighed. "You know what I hate?" The man blinked. "What?" Lester yanked the guy's smartwatch clean off his wrist. "I hate when time tourists think they're slick." The man's face drained of color. Zora cracked her knuckles. "Let's talk." They dragged him into a dark alley, pressing him against the brick wall. The man sputtered, eyes darting for an escape. "You know where you are?" Zora asked. He swallowed hard. "Greenwood." Lester's jaw tightened. "You mean Black Wall Street?" The man nodded quickly. "Yes, I just wanted to see it. The day before it all..." His voice broke. Zora's stomach twisted. They all wanted to see it. Everyone wanted to watch history burn. "What were you planning to do?" she asked, voice sharp. "Nothing," he swore. I just wanted to see it before it was gone. I swear, I wasn't going to change anything." Zora had heard it before. Lester had heard it before. They always said that. And yet, every footprint left in the past had consequences. Zora's wristcom beeped. She glanced at the holographic warning. Temporal distortion detected. Her head snapped up. The air rippled. The shadows twisted. And suddenly, they weren't alone. A group of men stepped from the darkness, eyes glowing gold. Timekeepers, enforcers of history, ghosts of the past, summoned whenever someone stepped too far out of line. The time tourist screamed. Zora pulled her weapon. Lester cursed. "Here we go again." Gunfire cracked through the alley. Zora and Lester moved as one, ducking behind crates, their weapons firing silent energy pulses that disintegrated their attackers. The keepers fought back with shadows, warping reality around them. The past was angry. The time tourist was panicking. "You said I wouldn't change anything. Why are they here?" Zora grabbed his collar. "Because your presence is a wound." The keepers lunged. Lester snarled, slamming his fist into his wristcom. "Initiating forced recall now." A white light engulfed them. Zora, Lester, and the tourist collapsed onto the sleek metal floor of the Temporal Authority headquarters. The neon skyline of New Chicago. 2,142. shone through the glass walls. Sirens blared. They had made it. Lester rolled onto his back, catching his breath. "One of these days," he groaned, "we're going to take a mission where no one tries to kill us." Zora peeled off her gloves, shaking her head. "Yeah, and then we'll die of boredom." The tourist sat up, shaking. I don't understand," he whispered. "I didn't even talk to anyone. I didn't touch anything." Zora stared at him. "You breathed." The tourist fell silent. Lester leaned against the console, rubbing his temples. "You rich idiots think history is a museum. You think it's a damn theme park." He pointed at the man. "You go back to your time, you forget you ever saw this place, and you tell your rich little friends, stay. The hell? Home." The tourist nodded quickly. Zora sighed, activating the memory wipe. And just like that, he was gone. Lester stretched. "Where's our next mission?" Zora checked her comm. Her jaw tightened. "Memphis, Tennessee," she said. "April 4th, 1968. Lester's smile vanished. They both knew the date. The day Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. Lester exhaled, rolling his shoulders. "Guess history ain't done with us yet." Zora smirked. "Nope." They grabbed their gear and stepped back into